Here goes. Hi. Good morning on day 8. It's been an interesting night. I actually slept really well, probably because I was really tired. I didn't sleep well the night before. But I woke up a few times and I heard the wind blow a little harder. Got a little mistier. I felt it in my face. But overall, it was actually a pretty good night, much better than I thought it was going to be. And I woke up and I haven't spotted any mice damage yet. I have found new poops here and there, but everything else, I don't know. Food bag's still here intact, no holes or anything. And my hip pocket seems to be fine. I'll have to check over everything though. Those little guys can get everywhere. They can damage little things, but quilt seems fine. So pretty happy. It's 7:30. It's still raining, of course. I'm gonna get dressed and get going. I'm gonna take everything. I'm gonna pack up everything and head over to the privy and bring everything along, just so I don't leave anything out here. I don't like to leave my stuff alone too long. And once I'm done with that, I'm gonna keep going. Today is gonna be a long day. To make up for the shorter day yesterday, I like to do 15.5 to the next shelter. I think it's like Plum Grove Shelter. That's my goal. It's gonna be a doozy just because it's gonna be wet and it's gonna get cold later. And I would like to get there before 4:30, I think. Definitely before 5. It's 4,000 feet of up, so it's gonna be a bit of work. But I definitely want to be there before 5. It's supposed to get colder in the afternoon, and tomorrow night, or tonight, it's supposed to be in the mid to low 20s. So I like to get there early, settle in, and just get ready to go to sleep. And there'll be a couple of clothing items I won't wear tonight, just because I'm sure they're going to get wet in the first few hours. Yesterday, the forecast was supposed to be raining till 10 or so, but now they've changed it to showers till 3, so that's not fun. So let's pack up, get ready to go, start off day 8. I'm down at the Tray Mtn Shelter water source. It's quite a bit downhill, but this thing is gushing. I decided to get 2 liters here because it's not raining as hard anymore and it's just gonna be muddy puddles everywhere. And there's no good water coming up, except unless you go downhill. So I might as well go downhill where I know there's good water, but it's gushing pretty well. It's a pretty dark day out. It's only like drizzling slightly, so I took the umbrella off, so it makes me feel a little more open here. But it's 8:40 now and I'm just starting off, so I have quite a bit to go before 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. So I'm gonna, sadly it's gonna be a less vlogging day, more hiking day. Be a shorter video. I just need to get to that 15.5 miles, and I think that takes priority, unfortunately. So there might be not too much footage. It's also drizzling a lot, so I have my main camera put away. And the GoPro, I probably shouldn't even hold out. It's starting to rain again. I'll talk to you later along the trail as I see some things. But it's a big goal for today. It's not really the distance. I think it'd be okay. Combined with the elevation, it'd be okay. It's just the lack of hours to do it, because it's gonna get cold once it's dark. So we're back in AT. There's a shelter sign, and there's an AT hash blaze over there. So let's get going. At first, it just looks like a little hollow in the tree, but when you look at what's pouring out of it, look at all these acorn husks. Look at all the shells. A squirrel must live in there somehow, and there must be like a hole where he just dumps his garbage and his husks and all kinds of stuff, just all coming down the middle. Isn't that funny? I'm gonna stick the camera in there. Here goes. Hi. I hope I don't get poop dropped on it. See anything? Might be too dark. Hello everybody. Still here, and look at this beautiful ridge walk. It's basically like this on both sides. Kicked in. It's not too windy. It's actually beautiful right now. The only droplets coming down are from the trees. Hopefully droplets are all that comes down, but I'd like to say thank you to all the new subscribers out there. I've gotten so many comments. I used to reply to all of them, but
I just cannot anymore. Sorry if I don't reply. I have been flipping through and reading all the comments though, so keep them coming. I appreciate them. And sometime today, maybe tomorrow, I'm hitting the great 10,000 subs marker, which is crazy. I remember on the PCT, I didn't get 1,000 until July or something like that, 3 months into my through hike. So this is crazy that it's almost 10,000. And tonight will be my day 1 video. The videos are all just a week behind. So I was anticipating more subscribers after the day 1. I didn't think so many people would be watching the Getting to Amicalola one. I always thought people didn't care about that so much, but I guess people do. And great morning. Compared to yesterday, all I have stuff on my face. Compared to yesterday, it's a fantastic morning, and still drizzling on and off though, so I'm gonna keep my main camera away and I'll keep going. I still have to hit that 15-mile marker today. It's a long day. So yes, welcome to all the new subscribers out there. Hopefully my videos will be entertaining enough. There were a few comments that said that my Amicalola getting there video was really well done, and I thought I just filmed all that on my GoPro. I didn't do anything too crazy, but I thought the day 1 video turned out nicely. I hope it gets the same sort of judgment tonight. We'll see. And then I'll be off in another lodge somewhere trying to fight mice while everyone's watching it, hopefully. If I have service though, I'm gonna tune in. That'll be fun. Thanks for subbing, and I hope I continue to meet the video quality level that I want to achieve. Some days it's just not going to be as possible, like today and yesterday, but tomorrow's gonna be a nice day, so we're gonna be back on a normal crazy filming routine, and it should be like a 13-mile day, easy, right? I bet 10 years ago I would have been a little creeped out walking through this little green tunnel with some fog, middle of nowhere, maybe 10 miles from a road, by myself. Bad weather, so there's less people out here. I'd have had the chills. Now I'm thinking, it's so pretty. There's no animals. Most dangerous animal I've seen so far is that opossum. We'll see if we see anything else, but it's just beautiful, right? The rhododendrons are so twisty. They're just all kinds of random swervy, curvy. It's fascinating. Here's a doozy of a downed tree. It looks like this one just fell and smashed this one, and it knocked it this way, and you could tell it's fresh by all the white, really bright wood. It knocked it right down, and there's more over here, and all of it's kind of crossing the trail. Yeah, I think it's pretty fresh because these branches aren't as broken. Generally, if a lot of hikers go through, branches get broken up just from all the people. I saw one guy, but doozy. I mean, it did blow quite hard yesterday. It was super windy. I forgot to point it out, but if you look, that big one just split this tree right down the middle. And then this living tree had several trunks, I guess, and some came this way, some came this way, but it just split that thing right down the middle. You could see the white. Wish I heard that one. Oh, this one doesn't look good. It's up there just leaning on the branches of this tree. At some point, that's going down too. Ooh. I know when through hikers announce their intention to through hike, people are always worried and they ask them what they're afraid of and things like that. What I found, it seems like every year or so, someone gets hit in the head by a branch or a tree falling down and gets killed. I think, you know, maybe not a knife or anything like that, pepper spray, bring a helmet. You're never gonna see a hiker out here with the helmet, but I think the helmet is gonna be the most functional protective tool that you can actually carry on the trail. I don't think you're ever going to use a knife or anything like that, but a helmet could save your life. This is quite amazing, everyone. I just now broke through the clouds and look up. You could see all the way up there. I'm coming up on Kelly's Knob. It's another 500 feet or so. And I thought I wouldn't get any views because we'd be in the clouds, but you see below here, clouds. So we just have to go up maybe another 50 feet and we'll be above this for good. And if we're really lucky, when we're at Kelly's Knob, we're gonna actually see the islands in the skies. I love seeing that. But we're gonna see a good thick layer of clouds below. My lucky day. I am here at Kelly Knob. But unfortunately, the clouds as well. So not the views I was hoping for, but it's at the top though. Top of the day. After this, it's all down. Little up and downs, a lot of up and downs. But yeah, easy rest of the day. 9 miles to go. Going down from Kelly Knob should be a lot easier. I went up that thing slowly. I hope I made at least a mile an hour. But going down this hill, I thought I'd discuss, so ever since 2014 or so, I've been following like Appalachian Trail vloggers. And I've been doing that like crazy. And, you know, every year I figure out who's vlogging and follow most of them. And of course, most of them don't continue, but this year has been the most I have ever heard of in my life. Well, I guess, yeah, maybe life, because YouTube hasn't been around super long time. But I counted over 100 people who were saying that they may, or they will vlog occasionally or sometimes or every day. It's over 100 people. It's pretty insane. I actually wrote a script because I don't know if everybody watching this knows, I worked in IT. I was a systems administrator of sorts, and I wrote a script to monitor like all these 100 people and just kind of keep a database of how they're doing subscriber wise. And then I have a report sent to my Dropbox which has like people with bigger numbers of changes of subscribers and that goes in daily. I don't look at it daily, it just updates daily, and whenever I go in I could look at it. I included myself as well just to see like how I was doing, and I am still mind boggled. I don't even have my first day hike video out yet. I hope all the people that subscribe from the Getting to Amacola Lodge and all the other videos stay on after my first one. I know there's some people out there who think that the approach trail isn't AT and it doesn't matter. But yeah, they may not like the fact that most of the video is approach trail. But okay, we've got 9 miles to go. This is easy down, so I'm gonna put the camera away and just go really fast, just so I can make up for the miles for a few more climbs coming up. Check out the lichen or moss or whatever growing on this branch. I haven't seen any that are this orange. Super vibrant orange. It's beautiful. Well, I made a decision. I'm actually gonna go to Around the Bend Hostel tonight and then push back the Chica and Sunset another day because it is getting so cold. It's just suddenly kicking in. I don't know what's going on, but I know I'm kind of wet inside. I know my arms are wet from the rain, and it's just every time I stop I'm shivering now. I have 2.3 miles down to get to Dick's Creek, and they said they'd come and get me. But I can't stand still too long because I'm actually starting to shiver, and it's getting colder, and it's gonna get a lot colder, and all my stuff is still wet. My quilt's a little damp. I was hoping if I get there early enough I could warm it up to dry it off my body heat, but I think I'm just gonna play it safe and head into the hostel. I'm staying at places way more often than I wanted to or intended to. Umbrella, quit it. But I think tonight I should just be safe because I'm wet, and it's gonna get down to 20s tonight, so plus I'll be warmer this way. We'll see. All right, I'm a little before Dick's Creek, and it looks like we got below the clouds again. It's weird seeing the air so clear, and you can see this creek. Well, that's a gushing water. I don't know how long it's gonna stay like that. If I keep going, I have about 15 minutes. I'm gonna meet, I think Gordon from the hostel I'm staying at 2 o'clock. He offered to pick me up, which is fantastic because I've been rushing down to get there in time, and I stopped just to film this air, this clear air. I'm wet and I'm starting to feel cold already. I was warm when I stopped. The heat just disappears really quickly, so I'm glad I'm staying, but I gotta keep going. I don't want to make them wait. They said they'd pick me up at 2, so I almost stepped on this guy. Why is this out? How is this out? How is it possible it's still alive in this temperature? I mean, it's gonna get freezing tonight. Dude, you gotta find a burrow somewhere. Chill. I wish I had the big camera easily accessible. Oh my goodness. Almost stepped on this guy. I had to do like an extra large step. He's the same color as the leaves. Wow. It was at this point that I realized that the microphone on my GoPro Media Mod had died. So any video recorded with GoPro has no more audio. So what I'm basically saying is that the previous night I hung up my long sleeve shirt and my rain jacket just to not necessarily let them dry, but just to keep them away from the mice. But oddly enough, overnight they got soaking wet. So by putting on the long sleeve shirt, my base layer also became soaking wet. So the combination with having a soaking wet base layer as well as the 20-degree temperatures coming up just made it way too cold. So I was very thankful that I made the decision to just stop here for the night instead of carrying on, because I would not have had much to wear except a t-shirt and the Melanzana fleece and a puffy, and it would have been close. I probably would have managed, but my quilt was also a little damp as well. So it was just a bad combination, bad circumstances with the shelter and the exposed door. And I'm glad I got to stay here at Around the Bend Hostel. This is what the bunk room looks like. There are 6 bunks here, 2 floors each, and they all have little curtains on them so you get a little privacy. And they also have a little cable at the foot of the bed, or I guess if you sleep turned around, you could do that. But everyone has their little outlet, and there's also a little light above the head of the bed that you can turn on if you like. I decided to choose the one at the very end just because there's a little bit more room to lay out my stuff. I was the only one in the bunk for this night, so I had the whole bunk room to myself, which is pretty nice. But it's nice having that corner because you just have more area to lay things out and dry out. And that's the key for this trip. Well, that's it for day 8, folks. After I got here, I showered, did laundry and everything, and at 6:30 they cooked lasagna for all of us. We all sat inside the main area and we all ate, sat around, talked for way too long, probably till like 8:30, and I finally got back and finished working up on a video. Because I'm taking one extra day to get to Franklin, I have to do one more just to keep the gap going so I can keep videos going each day. But thanks for watching, everyone. You all have a good night. Tomorrow morning we'll be back on the trail, and this time we're going to be at least 3 nights out on trail before we get to Franklin. So that should be a bunch of fun. And the weather's going to be beautiful, so I hope to film a whole lot more. I'll talk to y'all later.